Much higher than expected job gains in January of this year. What does that mean for the real estate market? Hey, I'm Dave with the Bolduc Realty Group. Welcome to my weekly real estate market update. Today is February 3rd. We're going to talk about the Connecticut real estate market, and at the end, we're going to talk about that jobs report. Before we jump into that, YouTube algorithm, please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. If you got any comments, questions, throw them down below. I always appreciate some feedback. And my goal here is to just get the good information about the Connecticut real estate market out to people in Connecticut. So let's jump right into this. On the market today, 3,771 homes. That's single family, multifamily, and condo. Down 51 from last week, 117 coming soon. 51% of those houses have been on greater than 60 days. Probably overpriced, have some kind of issue, some kind of either repairs that need to be done, something like that. But there's a reason why those are there. If you're interested in putting a little bit of time and effort in doing a renovation loan, something like that, I can definitely help you with that. Reach out, we could talk about it. Almost 2,400 homes closed in January. That's down about 900 from December. It makes sense. We have fewer houses on the market, so fewer houses are going to go under contract and close. And also, the real estate market is very cyclical, and December, January are usually pretty much the lowest months for closings. So this does make sense. So jumping into foreclosures, the F in file, you can see 324,000 in 2022. This data goes through the end of 2022. 2021 and 2020 are much lower, but there was a moratorium during most of those 2 years, so it makes sense we're going to see lower numbers there. When you go back to 2019, the pre-moratorium year, you can see that we're still well below that. And I got a quote here from Rick Sharga. He's the Executive Vice President of Market Intelligence at Atom Data, the group that puts this information out. And he's talking about over the last 18 months since the moratorium ended, there's only about 5% or less of the 8.4 million people that went into forbearance still in the forbearance program. So that means everybody else is cleared out. Foreclosure activity is significantly lower than pre-pandemic levels, which we just talked about. It seems clear that the government and the mortgage industry efforts during the pandemic, coupled with a strong economy, have prevented a lot of foreclosures. So that's great news. Adding on to that, it says it's unlike foreclosure activity during 2008, the Great Recession. The majority of homes in foreclosure are not being repossessed by lenders. Homeowners, 93% of borrowers that are in foreclosure have positive equity, which means they're listing their house and selling it or refinancing in order to get squared away. So it's something they expect to see continuing in 2023. This is great because houses aren't going into the foreclosure process. They're being listed and sold, so they're hitting the market quicker. So that's a good thing. And for those that hear, there's going to be a huge tidal wave of foreclosures, it's on its way. Foreclosure starts are on the rise nationwide, but it's compared to last year when you couldn't start a foreclosure. Lenders started foreclosure process on 248,000 U.S. properties in 2022. It's up 169% from 2021. Sounds scary, but it's down 26% from 2019 when there was no moratorium, and down 88% from 2009 when we were in the height of the Great Recession. So again, anyone that is telling you that this is another Great Recession, it's the end of the world, we're going to see foreclosures everywhere, they're not telling you the truth. So let's talk about inventory. New listings. I already talked about how many are on the market. New listings are down, continue to be down. They did spike over the last couple of days. Hopefully that continues and we'll start seeing an uptrend in listings. But we're down around about 50 per day, which is pretty low. Back on the markets are trending down. It's averaging about 15 a day. And that makes sense because we have fewer houses going under contract, and fewer houses going under contract, which means fewer contracts are going to blow up, which is what happens that causes a house to come back on the market. And price reductions are way down, less than 20 per day. And this, again, is related to, in my opinion, people who are listing their houses too high based on recency bias, that prices were climbing really crazy and we need to put it on for a really high price. And then they're realizing it is a different market right now, and then they're having to reduce their prices. So talking about lending, the primary mortgage market survey, we're at 6.09%. We are continuing to trend down. The Fed just raised their interest rate by the Fed funds rate by 1/4 of a point, and they said that the work is not done. And from looking at the labor report, I think they're probably right. So we will continue to watch this and see what happens, but we have seen it trending down over the last few weeks. And just want to give the perspective here. It's rough right now looking at 6%, and we were just at 2.5, 3. But if you look back over the last 5 decades, it's really not that bad of a rate, and just something to consider. So the job report came in at 517,000 for January, additional jobs. There's a lot of headlines in the news. This tech company's laying off people. That tech company's laying off people. It's a disaster. It's the end of the world. And we still may see a lot of layoffs. I can't read, I can't see the future. But what we're seeing is a surprise, massive increase in hirings in January. So we'll see how that plays out. That is going to cause the Fed to be more concerned about how hot the economy is. They're trying to push down demand. They're trying to slow things down. And if companies are still hiring, then that means things aren't slowing down the way they want them to. So this is a leading indicator to potentially higher interest rates. I don't want to say that, but I have to tell you the truth. That is a leading indicator to that. We're going to have to keep an eye on as things go forward. So hopefully that was of value. Just wanted to leave you with one tip as we got this cold weather coming in tonight and over the weekend. Please verify that your hose spigots outside, the valve inside is turned off and you drain down the water. You don't want to have a frozen pipe squirting water everywhere when it's freezing cold out. Let your car warm up before driving. It's good for the engine, and also it allows you to defrost the window so you're not looking through a little slit as you're driving. You all know who you are. And then watch out for wet spots on the road, possible ice. There's a road right around the corner from where I live. It's a little winding back road that people use as a cut through, and half of it's covered in ice right now because of runoff, and it's very dangerous. So just be careful out there. Again, hopefully you got some value out of this video. It's running a little bit longer than normal, but I want to get that information on the jobs report in. Have a great day. Stay warm this weekend, and we'll talk soon.